Here. Here we go. Mic check 1, 2. Everybody can hear me? We're good? Okay, awesome. This is the Overtime Drive. We are here. It is Wednesday night, November the 12th. Week 12 is upon us. Appreciate you guys' patience. It really wasn't even technical issues that stopped us. We got one badass vlog coming tonight, and the exporting took a little long. And if you know anything about it, you can't unplug the vlogging camera until it's done. So we technically could have jumped on, but my sound would have sounded terrible. So either way, good things come to those that wait, or so they say. And like I say, we are here. Again, Overtime Drive, SEC Unfiltered's biweekly SEC football show, the best SEC football show on the internet. I am Chris Phillips. He's Cole the Bear Thompson. Lots to get into tonight. Y'all already know the drill. We're talking week 12. We're picking the games. We're locking in our best bets, taking your questions, your comments, and a little bit of everything in between because it's been a very busy week in the SEC, guys. When we get rolling, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Get us to 30,000 subscribers. We're that close. We're that close. Just need a bump from you all. Also, make sure you check out our friends over at FanDuel because, as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel, FanDuel.com/SECU to get on the action. Get $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/SECU to get in on the action today. Once again, I'm Chris Phillips. He's Cole the Bear Thompson. This is the Overtime Drive. We're talking all things week 12, best bets, pick 'em, storylines, everything in between. And of course, taking your questions and your comments and having, who knows, banter about what knows, where knows, who knows, how knows. We're going to be here all night doing it. Cole, appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Appreciate your patience. Also, how do you like my shirt? First time ever wearing it. I got the
you finally are wearing it on the show. Look at
Red River. Yeah, first time I've ever worn this on the show. Got
it
this.
Just looks weird.
It looks weird without shootout on it. For those
it just looks weird. I can't get past
those that are listening via podcast. We did I did cave and get some memorabilia, some merchandise at the Red River Shootout. Pretty cool shirt. It's a big golden cowboy hat, Texas logo, Oklahoma logo, but it says Red River Rivalry on it, which doesn't even sound good off the tongue. So anyways, Bear, good to see you, brother. I appreciate your patience and excited to chop it up with you, good sir.
Can I just get this off of my mind? It's been bothering me for the last 30 minutes. I sent it in the chat. I sent it to multiple people. I can't stomach the fact that there are actually Big Ten sickos out there, true people, legit names that believe that their conference is the best in the industry. By the way, I'll give you credit. You've won back-to-back national championships. So I can't flout you that much. But how on God's green earth, you haven't seen, I don't even care about throwing this guy under the bus. I really don't. John J.R. Rhodes, if you want to give him a follow, it's at JRS_rankings, talking about how the Big Ten and the SEC are not as far off as you've seen. Now, I made this clear multiple times. I do believe that the Big Ten has the favorite to win the national title. And they may even have the second favorite to win the national title. But that's where the list comes to an end. And then it's SEC, and it's SEC, and it's what means more. It's our conference. It's the one that bleeds the yellow and the blue. And all I hear is this man say, Big Ten teams are better or close to the same as the top rosters in the SEC, and no one wants to talk about it. USC is equal to, if not greater than, Georgia. Iowa is greater than one Mr. Ole Miss. Oregon, the exact same as Texas A&M and Michigan, with a common opponent, a one that one lost to and one beat, greater than Texas. Chris, we have lost the damn plot. We have lost our damn minds. We as a society need to get back to understanding. I need this conference to win a national title to make sure that we let everybody know up north who runs this show. I'm literally fuming still at the fact that you compared Iowa to Ole Miss. Like they're in the same spinning that go Nebraska. Like go USC. Go anything other than Iowa. That is just the biggest slap in the face I've ever seen to a program that has ever existed in the history of college football. Like my God. And then you back it on up and go, oh, it's the numbers. The numbers say that. The numbers lie. My eyeballs don't. Iowa would be trumped by Ole Miss by 4 scores, and then we'd watch as Austin Simmons came on and go, you had enough? I don't think so. I'll tell you when it's enough, honey. Go plug it. You want some of this, USC? Okay. And that's how we start the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing?
Bears on one tonight. More than normal. More than normal, I see. It's going to be a fun night. Again, guys, we appreciate you all tuning in. A couple quick shout-outs to our loyal listeners, BTTS, sup, fellas. Rockets on a roll.
They are.
Says the Bear. How about Houston? Shout out to the H-Town. Gerald Clayton says, do you believe Ole Miss will win against Florida Saturday in the SIP? Not to play spoiler, but yes, we'll get there in a second. Again, we did a full preview prediction on that game, but we'll talk more about it tonight. But I don't think it's any secret what Bear and I think is going to happen. Mr. Bucknuts is in the chat, of course. Miss Terry's Bathwater, by the way, I want to shout out. We do it every show, Bear, but so you can track on YouTube like who your leaders are in certain categories. I want to congratulate Miss Terry's Bathwater, number 1 in comments by a long shot. So good on you. Good on you, Miss Terry's Bathwater. Really appreciate it. Everybody else, get your numbers up. You got to hit Miss Terry's Bathwater numbers. My guy, Sandman, I'll see you next weekend. Spoiler. Again, you tune into the show live, you get spoilers. Excited to see you, my man. Appreciate you tuning in. Miss Terry's Bathwater says Iowa is the LSU of the Big Ten.
I'd rather that. That's at least that's even, I think that's disrespectful to Iowa. See, I show love to Iowa when it's need be. I think Nebraska is the LSU of the Big Ten. Way too big of a game, way too low of expectations. That's my standpoint.
Miss Terry's Bathwater, Petiti keeps trying to NFL our college football. It is not the same sport. It is definitely not the same sport. What did Petiti do?
He's trying to make a way to where we all talk about how the SEC and the Big Ten just be their own conferences and they play for a national title. Like that be just the deciding factor.
Okay, fair enough. Once again, BTTS, we appreciate you being in here. Miss Terry's Bathwater, I'm chronically online. Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Really quickly, before we get the show going, guys, again, we announced it this morning. I want to reinforce it. For those of you, I know we've got probably Jerry from Pascagoula is going to be tuning in at some point. We've already had somebody ask about Ole Miss. If you are going to be in Oxford this weekend, I will remind you again, end of show. If you are hearing the sound of my voice and you like cold beer, heck, do you like free beer? Who doesn't love a cold beer that's free?
Who doesn't like anything that's free? Let's just start there and work our way down.
Guess what? SEC Unfiltered. Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you. Our friends over at Outlaw Beer, Outlaw Light, we're teaming up with them Friday in Oxford at the library. I'm also teaming up with Kelsey Faris, the Real Housewife of the SEC. So I was also going to say, too, listen, if you don't want to look at my face, come look at her face. I mean, who doesn't? She's an Ole Miss woman by trade. She went to Ole Miss. Who doesn't love the women of Hottie Toddy? Come out. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go live 30, 45 minutes or so, chop it up. Then it's just going to be a huge night out at the library, just hanging out. We've got a tab for everybody who comes to the event. All you're going to have to do is scan a QR code, follow SEC Unfiltered, follow Kelsey, follow Outlaw. Bang, you're on the tab. You're good to go.
Subscribe on YouTube. Do that too.
I'm covering everybody's tab on Friday night. If you are in Oxford at the library, come on out. Again, it's 5 o'clock until I've also been told SECT is going to be in attendance. Sierra Clark. Sierra's coming down from Arkansas. She's going to be coming down. So it's going to be a great time. Again, if you're in Oxford, come on out. Help us kick off the weekend. Cheers to you all. Cheers from Outlaw Light. It's going to be a bunch of these. Tabs on us. Again, don't ever say I didn't do anything for you, that we didn't do anything for you. We'll see you Friday in Oxford. And again, I'll remind you again all throughout the week on social media. All the details are there. All right. That being said, Bear, let's get into it. Week number 12 is officially upon us, and I'm excited for it. We got a jam-packed slate. A lot of games, obviously. We got some non-con mixed in, but some big ones as the separation Saturdays continue. Dreams are being realized or dashed all in one. Let's first talk, Bear, the gambling side of it. I do want to get in this because, again, you and I both are best bets for Week 12, and here they are as you enter the week with a 29-26 overall record, specifically for, of course, your SEC best bets. I sit at 31-24. I went 2-3 last week. That's my first losing weekend in quite a while. What did you go last weekend?
2 and 3.
Okay, we both went 2 and 3. So we're both looking for bounce backs, and I'm feeling 5-0 on the card. I'm feeling 5-0. I think you and I both can go 5-0.
Yeah, we can this week.
We can this week. There are no head-to-heads. So without further ado, let's go ahead, Bear. I will let you start with the honor, sir. Your first pick going into the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to go just do the same one that we both have. Texas, we both think that this is going to be a very, very close call game. The question is, do I think this is a high-scoring affair that leads to a Texas upset, or do I think this is a low-scoring affair that leads to a Georgia win? I'll be completely honest. If the version of Texas's offense that took the field against Vanderbilt shows up on Saturday out in Sanford Stadium, it's going to be a high-scoring back-and-forth battle, which means it may come down to who has the football last. I guarantee you that's it. If the version of Georgia's defense that shows on up is the one we saw in Starkville last week, that after giving up the first touchdown to Camario Taylor, they kind of just shut down Blake Shapen. The rushing attack took away the deep ball. Then I think Georgia wins this game. I think the former happens. I think the Texas offense actually has hit a drive. It's put itself in a great position. All we got to know is that this offense has enough firepower to go toe-to-toe with Georgia. That's why I'm taking the Longhorns to get the +6.5. May not win, but I do think they are going to cover.
Yeah, I don't feel great about it, Bear. I think Georgia's going to win the football game, but something tells me this is another down-to-the-wire game. I'd feel a lot better if it was at 7, admittedly. I may even in my own bets. I just took it, obviously, at what FanDuel was offering. I may actually place another bet and buy it up to 7, just to be safe. But I do think it's a close game. It just feels like with these two teams and the way this Georgia team is wired, I know they obviously beat the hell out of Mississippi State, but this isn't Mississippi State. And there's tons of talent on this Texas team. This Georgia team loves to get in these knockdown, drag-out fights. I think it'll be more of the same. I think Georgia wins this game by 4, 6, something like that. But, you know, if either team won by double digits, I'd be stunned, to be honest with you, especially, again, being the Georgia side. So I like Texas +6.5. If you find it at a book somewhere at 7 or 7.5, I'd absolutely love it. I would hammer that number if you can find it. So, again, we're both going with the Horns. Again, Bears taking them money line. Bears taking a money line. So, for what it's worth, not to play spoiler. But, Bear, we've also got one other one, I believe. Yes, you and I both do. The under in Mizzou, Actually, we've got 2 other ones that are the same. You and I matched on 3.
Do we really? Wow.
Yes, we do. We matched on 3 this week. So, let's go to the second one. Mizzou, Mississippi State, under 51.5. A lot of quarterback questions in this game. And 2 teams that rely on the rushing attack. One of them really good at stopping the run, too. Under just feels like the right play here. I don't see either one of these offenses really popping off in this ball game. You go listen to our prediction video, lower scoring game, whether it's Mississippi State that finds a way to pull the upset or Mizzou gets the win at home on senior night. I think both sides have to lean on the run. I don't think either passing attack is super explosive. It just feels like 51.5 is a little too high, I think.
Yeah, this was like closer to say 47.5. Maybe I take the over because potentially you get like a late run by Bothwell or one from Ahmad Hardy. This is going to be one of those games where if we see 200 combined total passing yards, I wouldn't be shocked because I do think that Camario Taylor is going to eventually start. He is going to play majority of the reps for Mississippi State. And I think that they're going to trust their ground and pound attack the way that Mizzou does. But Mizzou at this point, I think Matt Zollers could end up being a really, really good quarterback. Like, I'm not selling my Zoller stock whatsoever. I think that there is so much potential in him. He's an athletic specimen. People talk about his upside and what he's able to accomplish when it comes to mobility, but he's not ready. He's simply just not ready. He's not supposed to even be the second string, but the second string, Sam Horn, suffered a season-ending injury well back in week 1. So it's like, it just feels this is one where you trust the ground game. One team gets 24. I'll go this. The first one to get 27 points wins. If you can get 27, I think you win the football game, but I don't think 2 teams are getting 27.
And I don't either. I would agree with you 110% there, Bear. So, again, we're both going under in that game, 51.5. And then our third pick that we both have, another under.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Alabama, under 40. That says 49, yes?
49.
49 and a half. Either that font is funky or I need some glasses. Anyways, under 49 and a half, Oklahoma, Alabama. And again, this one feels right, Bear. I'm really high on Ty Simpson. He looked for the first time all season a little bit unsettled last week. The running game issues, Oklahoma's front seven, Alabama's defense on the other side. The under feels like the right play, no?
Well, for starters, I lied. It's 46.5. So
okay.
we're not smart. Yep.
Okay, 46 and a half. Okay.
We are blind. We need glasses. We need to kind of go to our optometrist. That's actually on my to-do list. I got a lot of things I gotta do for my body. I gotta go to the dentist. I gotta go to the doctor for the first time. I gotta go see a podiatrist for something on my foot. You don't want to hear about that.
Rob says it says under 46 and a half. I'm kind of sitting far from the laptop, believe it or not. I promise I'm not.
Rob is a genius and we're just idiots. But you don't want to hear about my podiatrist. You want to hear about Alabama and you want to hear about Oklahoma. This is going to be a game where I just trust the two defenses to play well. Like as much credit as we give to Oklahoma finally figuring out its offensive woes with Isaiah Satanga as wide receiver number 1, and then you throw in what you got with the rushing attack with Xavier Robinson and even Torrey Blaylock having a 100-yard rushing game. So 4 straight 100-yard performances on the ground from the tailback. Give the same amount of credit to what we've seen from Alabama's defense. They've really stepped on up. They've been the backbone on what's won them games against South Carolina and also against LSU. So it's like, you add that together, this feels like a same thing. First one at 27, and the other one's not getting 27. So if it is 27 for John Mateer and company, Alabama's getting 20. And that might be right on the line, but even still, it's just like, you're right there. And a podiatrist, 100% is what you don't want to see because it's about your foot. I have a giant bruise that has been lingering on my foot for like 4 years. And whenever the winds change and it gets cold down in Texas, it flares up and I can't freaking walk.
Believe it or not, it does get cold in Texas. Which
it does. It was actually 41 degrees last night.
They didn't know how to act.
And then this afternoon, it was 74. So 30 degree, we don't know how to act. We don't know how to act because we don't know how to prepare. It changes.
Miss Terry's bathwater learned what a podiatrist is today. At least we can say that. By the way, Rob says I'm a new subscriber. You guys are great. Thank you, Rob.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you, Rob. We just love to chop it up and talk shit and talk a little ball here and there. So, no, but again, everything you said, Bear, I agree with you. I think these two defenses will dictate this game. You really do trust the two defenses here. So, lower scoring ball game in T-Town. I don't see either offense going off per se. I think it could get close to the number, but 24-20-ish score kind of feels right in that ball game. So,
yeah.
All right, Bear, go ahead with your next pick. The next two, obviously, we are different on.
Let's go down to Neyland, or I guess for me, up to Neyland and Rocky Top. I took the over of 61.5 because I do think that New Mexico State's going to find a way to score late. But I think it's going to be something like 58-14. Like, it's nowhere near close. I'm not saying like, oh, this is going to be a back and forth battle where the Aggies of New Mexico State make things interesting with No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you get your backups in. Your secondary has been somewhat sus at times this year. You allow Chris Brazzell and you allow Braylon Staley and Mike Matthews to boot, scoot, and boogie into the end zone. And then you pull out your second string. And maybe you get Jake Merklinger throw to pick 6 and it gets the backdoor cover. So I think it's going to be a high scoring affair. I think that we're going to see the number 1 scoring offense in the SEC continue to look the part. I just think that New Mexico is going to get a touchdown or 2. Therefore, I'm taking the over at 61.5.
I thought you were going to say you had Tennessee scoring all those by themselves, to be honest.
They very well, it very well could hit the over for all we know.
It wouldn't totally shock me. Funny enough, Bear, the two that I have different from you are both similar in a very specific way. I will start with the first one. I'm a little bit of a sicko. I'll start with the first one and then kick it over to you, and then I'll finish up. I'll start with the one in College Station. Texas A&M. I'm taking them minus 18.5. There's something in the air this week where I'm playing some big spreads. Dude, A&M, I told you, A&M could run the football every single play and they'd win the game. And they might even get close to covering. And guess what? They're not going to do that. South Carolina season is a complete lost cause. Texas A&M is on a warpath to potentially a national championship. First time since 1939. Certainly punching their ticket to Atlanta. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. They are going to be 11-0 when they go into Austin. What happens from there, I have no idea, but they are going to curb stomp South Carolina. It's going to look like varsity versus JV. It's not even going to be close. Gamecocks have never won in College Station. That's a whole other factor. This South Carolina team is just like, I feel like almost everything A&M does well goes against a deficiency of South Carolina, something they don't do well. So, I mean, like the one thing you could say, for example, is like Texas A&M. They haven't been great stopping the run. Well, South Carolina can't run the ball anyways. So It's like even that, like I don't know that there's anything really South Carolina can expose in the game. If I get beat with a backdoor cover, so be it. But I'm just leaning on the better team here. I'm leaning on the momentum. Texas A&M is playing with all the momentum in the world. I like the Aggies to cover the big number.
Anything
big number. You got to be brave. Take a big number.
Anything over 14 in the SEC when it's an SEC matchup feels very risky to me, and so it's not worth taking. Like I almost consider taking the over in this game, but the 18 it's rich. It's very rich. What I will say is not rich is to believe that both Florida and Ole Miss, maybe very early on, could be scoring some points. They could be putting up a couple of big time blows down the field. They could be making this thing interesting going into the fourth quarter. Not really. I mean, that's not at all what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to see, I think, Lane Kiffin basically put himself in a position of, brother, this is what you're missing. If you want to pay for me to leave my school, you better bring the big bucks because I'm going to show you what you don't have currently on your roster, and I'm going to bring it to the table. And I don't think they're going to score 40, but I think it's going to be something along the lines of 38-17. At that standpoint, that is a clear overplay. I think the over clearly hits in this matchup against Florida. Florida, they're coming on in. They don't know what's going to be the long-term stats of DJ Lagway. Is Lagway going to start the entire game? You just lost Trey Wilson. He's now out with a season-ending injury. You don't have Dallas Wilson out there. And remember, this is a playoff clincher for Ole Miss. They win, they are locked in. And then afterwards, I've already made this clear. I think that we are going to hear the big announcement that Lane Kiffin ain't leaving Oxford anytime soon. So this is why I think the over is going to hit. He's going to make it abundantly clear that this is where he's meant to be.
Bear, really quickly before I get my final one, I want to shout out my cousin, Tori Howard, is tuned in. He said it's a wishful thinking kind of game for Carolina. Tori, I do agree with you. Also, I want to get to this one real quick. YT Marstad and Chris, how many more losses does Shane need to be on the hot seat? As a Carolina fan, I'm ready for him to be gone. I mean, I think the seat's pretty warm already.
It's warming up.
Lose to Coastal. Lose to Coastal. Then the seat will be scorching beyond all belief. So, barring that, I think he's back next year. I think at any other SEC school he's fired, but I think he's back at South Carolina. So do with that information what you will. But I think he's built so much goodwill up there. They're going to give him another year. There's no way they're going to. I don't see them cutting ties after this year. Again, our friend David Pollock, you probably most notably saw today, he thinks he should leave and take the Virginia Tech job. I don't even know if Vatech wants him at this point. Sounds like they might get James Franklin, or there's a couple schools that might get James Franklin, but they might get somebody else. So who knows with it? All right.
Wait, you heard that you heard that Virginia Tech's getting James Franklin?
It just rumors. I mean, just rumors.
Well, I mean, I heard that Lane Kiffin was going to Penn State. I also heard he was going to be coaching the New York Giants next year.
Lane Kiffin is going to be the first man to coach like 3 teams.
I heard he was also coaching down in Gainesville. A good source told me he was going to LSU. Somebody said that the Walton family threw him a bad to go coach at Arkansas. I mean, he's going to be pretty busy next year. So I don't think there's going to be room for Shane Beamer because I think that maybe Lane wants Virginia Tech too. You never know.
I know I can speak for you too, Bear. I'll say this. Anybody that tunes in this show knows we're not like per sources guys necessarily. We're not breaking news here. Because if I said everything I heard, we could have that kind of show where it's like, hey, I'm just going to blurt out everything and like run with it, whatever you want to run with. I mean, but I just don't really have the energy for it. Because I heard some shit today that, hell, I might mention on the show just for fun. Say, take it for what it's worth, grain of salt. But heard some stuff about the LSU search today that I thought was pretty interesting.
I wonder if you've heard what I've heard, which is a little bit different.
Give me 2 minutes and we'll get there. Final pick, again, full sicko mode activated. sticking with the game that we're going to be at in Oxford. Another big spread. I feel more confident about this one than the Texas A&M one. Ole Miss minus 15.5. I think Lane Kiffin wants to make a point. I do. I don't think Lane Kiffin's going anywhere. And I think he's going to want to make a point Saturday night. Also, the simple fact, take away the Lane Kiffin factor. It's a huge factor in this game. But Florida's not good. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Florida's not a good football team right now. I don't know how fired up and motivated they are to go into Oxford and go get a win and go get one for the Gipper. Meanwhile, Ole Miss, again, playing for their college football playoff lives. I think Trinidad Chambliss has another big night. Kawan Lacey, that group of weapons they got on the outside. You can't trust anything about what Florida's doing at the quarterback position. I think Ole Miss puts belt to ass. I think Ole Miss wins this game, wins it big. Lane Kiffin's going to be so deep in his bag, it's not even going to be funny. Give me Ole Miss to cover a big number. We've seen a lot of thrillers on the SEC Unfiltered Tour, tons of them. I don't think this is going to be one. I think Ole Miss dominates this football game, covers the 15.5 number. Another big number. Again, I'm taking two really big numbers in conference play, but I just think, Bear, we're at a point in the season where you are with you just truly are what you are. I mean, you are what you are. And the two big numbers I'm taking, it is playoff to national title contenders compared to coachless, coach on the warm seat, hot seat, lost season, missed bowl game type of vibe. Like
with no quarterback.
With quarterback issues and just other issues in general. So, yeah, give me the better team. Give me Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin makes a point.
We both believe Lane Kiffin is going to the college football playoff at Ole Miss.
Yeah. Who'd have thought? They said he had to leave to get there. They said he had to leave to get there, apparently.
Yep. And not leaving afterwards because he's pulling Jordan Belfort. He's letting us all know he ain't leaving.
He's letting us know he ain't leaving. Bear, before we get into our pick'em, let's have a little conversation here. Again, I want to take some of y'all's questions, some of y'all's comments. BTTS says Ole Miss style of run game is an issue for A&M. They haven't played, right? I don't think they've played.
They have not played against each other.
Maybe Atlanta? Maybe?
If somehow, some way, Alabama loses 2 out of the next 3.
I need somebody out there. Maybe I could just do it, but I need somebody out there to tweet me like a whole scenarios thing. I need like that. People start tweeting out scenario. Like, if this, and this happens, this team goes. If this, and this team. I need that because I need like a guideline or something.
Well, Ole Miss right now is on the biggest outside looking in because they need a lot of teams to get upset. They need a loss from Georgia in conference play. They also need a loss probably from Alabama, if not 2. Like they're on the outside looking in.
They're the biggest long shot.
Because the Georgia head-to-head has a lot of validity.
But hey, wouldn't you rather just have the home playoff game on the Grove?
Honestly, at this point, I get 2 weeks to prepare, and I'm already locked on into the 5 seed. Yes, that's where I'm at.
Our guy, Sandman, y'all have any opinions about private equity firms potentially getting involved in the Big Ten? Dude, I don't know, man. Private equity in college football is a slippery slope. Very slippery slope. I mean, I won't be surprised if it happens, but it's a slippery slope, dude. It is. I don't know.
Sure. I would say private equity in college football means that you guys are going to do everything in your power to show that you are better than the SEC by quite literally buying your way to a championship. So you're no better than the Dodgers or the Yankees or any other team in baseball that says we're just going to pay for a bunch of players because we have the money, because we can save above the luxury tax and that'll work for us, instead of trying to actually prove how to be able to win this one. But yeah, I mean, call the Nigerian prince, or as Miss Terry's bath bar puts, the sheik from somewhere else to go ahead and funnel your funds on in to guarantee that this is the only way that you can finally take over the SEC. Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't really care. I'll still watch the sport because I love the sport.
Well put. Well put, Bear. Sandman says personally he hopes Kiffin stays in Oxford. Dude, David Pollock said the same thing to me. He just – it's a good fit, man. It's a good fit. Sometimes life – I mean, Kiffin already said he's not going to chase the money. So if he does leave, that'll more so say – I think if he like what I was going to say is if he leaves, it's going to speak more to like he's thinking about his legacy. But he's literally proving in real time. I mean, they're going to go to the playoff. At least, I mean, assuming.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
They're going to go to the playoffs. It's like, I mean, you're going to leave to go somewhere else to do kind of the same thing. I mean,
where there's higher expectations and almost instant gratification that needs to be met. Because he's not going to go to a place that's like Arkansas where, oh, I'm rebuilding this program now. No, he's going to a location to where it has to be considered one of the top tier jobs. And when you get to those top tier jobs, you have top tier expectations every single season. I mean, you heard what's his name, Vaughn, the athletic director, interim / permanent athletic director for LSU. We should be in the playoff every single year. That's not them saying that they should. That's them saying, no, we should. You don't make it. Watch what happens.
Like we
Watch
better.
Where we go.
We better.
Yeah, it's not we should. Like, oh yeah, we have the talent. No, we should. If you don't, you're the problem. It's all you.
LSU fans will tell you 9-3 gets you fired at LSU. So fair or unfair, it is what it is. So
you had a guy beat Nick Saban and have a Heisman Trophy winner, and 2 years later he's shown the door. I mean, that's not enough proof. I don't know what to tell you.
Cutthroat. Sandman said, I seriously want Brian Kelly and Jimbo Fisher to start a podcast.
The unlikable.
That's sick work. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. Bear, before we get into our pick'em, I will reveal what I heard today, because why not? Why not? So I had a caught up with a good friend of ours, Blake Ruffino, AYS Sports. Talked about a lot of things, but essentially gave me an update on the LSU coaching search. And again, listen, you want updates on LSU's coaching search, highly suggest you go to AYS, go check out Blake's stuff. I mean, he's
love
very
Blake, the program, awesome dude,
very in the know there. He is as on top of that thing as anybody. The names he's hearing: Lane Kiffin, obviously, Jeff Brom over at Louisville, who I think they're trying to sign him to an extension. The name that Eli Drinkwitz over at Mizzou. Drink is going to get calls from probably everybody. The name that really stood out to me was Josh Heupel.
Yes.
Josh Heupel was the name that really stood out. And apparently, again, per Blake, apparently there's an understanding that Josh Heupel may not be as happy as some folks think or thought he was in Knoxville, to a point where he may or may not want to get out. Just take it for what it's worth. Just don't shoot the messenger.
I am
Josh
telling you
Heupel
this.
at LSU.
This is not the first time I have heard Josh Heupel's name. I threw him in the video for the coaching search. I did that for a reason. I have heard that Josh Heupel, for the right school, would listen to an offer.
I mean, the thing, like, where my mind goes for that is, like, I'm wondering, like, does Josh Heupel feel like he can't meet the expectations that Tennessee fans want on a yearly basis? Because they don't want to go 8-4 anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a tough – listen, Tennessee is a tough place to win. Not the toughest, obviously. You can win big there. Took them to a playoff. But it's not as easy to win there as it is at LSU. So, again, don't shoot the messenger, but it's a name being thrown around. So
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. If Josh Heupel is going to be belittled and called out by certain fans, not every fan, but certain fans that say he's our James Franklin, he can't win us the big one after all he's been able to accomplish, why not take the money and go to a school that you, number one, basically recruits itself? Number two, you'll be able to continue with the development of quarterback play, which is essential down there. Number three, you already know what it takes to win, and you know that there are certain things that Brian Kelly didn't do that you can do that would be better. And number four, you ultimately put yourself in a better position to consistently, I think, compete for national titles, and you get to hit reset. Because again, when you leave a program, you hit reset on your clock. You get yourself a little bit more leniency to figure out, hey, am I really the problem here, or are Tennessee fans just too far out of left field coming after us? It makes sense. Again, and I'll tell you what Josh Heupel has been able to accomplish at Tennessee should be revered. Like, the fact that Tennessee fans are talking so negatively about him, when you look at how pedestrian the passing attack was with Nico last year, and they still made the playoff, and he's beaten Nick Saban, and he's beaten Alabama, and he's the first coach to do so since Phil Fulmer at a consistent basis, and he's gotten you to 10-plus wins, and he gets you ranked every single year. Like, there comes a level of where you just got to say, enough's enough. Like, I've done everything, and this isn't what I've signed up for. Like, I completely get it. I wonder what I would be interested in. Where does Tennessee go? And I'll tell you where the number one name that they're going to go to. It's down to Tampa Bay, and they're going to bring back Alex Golish.
Yeah, I think that'd actually be a good move for them. Very good move. Maybe the groomers pick back up. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I love.
We're not doing Gruden again. I'm not doing Gruden in Tennessee. I'm not.
I love Tennessee folks. I live in Tennessee. Obviously, I'm in Nashville. I'm surrounded by a lot of Tennessee fans. But yeah, I mean, I kind of equate it to like when a Spurrier left Florida thing, where it's like, and he won a national title there, so it's very different. He won SEC titles, but I think when a coach gets to a point where they're like, I can't do enough, like I can't deliver what this, like the fan base kind of loses some gratitude. And I get it. You always want to be expecting more, and you want it to feel like 98, but yeah, I mean, so that's the rumor. Apparently, Josh Heupel, doors not closed. It's for the right opportunity, he'd be ready to jump.
That's one that you have to kind of jump at. It is.
Yeah, and I mean, if LSU calls you, seriously offering you the job. Here's the thing: Tennessee's a good job. LSU's a great job. It's a difference. There's a difference. It is. Bottom line.
I think that what it comes down to, in my opinion, is with Tennessee, it's a job to where you look at, you're saying to yourself, if I don't do X, Y, and Z, fan base is losing their freaking minds. If I don't do X, Y, and Z down in Baton Rouge with the resources that I have there, where I am quite literally able to go in any backyard across the state and I'll find a 5-star, now I'm the problem. I think that's kind of the difference at that standpoint. Because again, Les Miles and Ed Orgeron, be honest with you. Do you think for 1 second that Ed Orgeron and Les Miles at their peak is as good as a play caller as Josh Heupel? No, they just had really, 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 really good resources that eventually helped them win a national title. So if Heupel can get to that level, I mean, if literally we saw 2 other coaches get to that level, by all means, Heupel can't do that down in Baton Rouge.
Going to be interesting to see. Again, take it for what it's worth. But the coaching carousel going to be very, very interesting towards the end of this season and postseason, no doubt. All right, Bear, let's lock in some picks. Officially, our pick 'em for week number 12. And by the way, Rob Brown, best sports bar in Oxford, the library. You should come Friday if you can. By the way, I want to highlight Sandman. Grass isn't always greener. Sometimes the weeds are deeper. That's deep, man.
That's deep.
I've never heard that before. That's deep. Look at old Sandman.
Sometimes you'll catch yourself falling out in a bog, and it's not really a bog; it's straight quicksand, and you're going down deep. That's what it is.
We're getting the
weeds.
Yeah, we are indeed. All right, let's get into it. Week number 12, pick 'em. We got a full slate of games. Without further ado, here we go, Bear. Let's start with the early game, and I always forget to first bring up the odds before I do this. Again, the early game, Texas A&M, South Carolina. And oh, by the way, our records. You were at 82-19. I am at 83-18. So maybe, just maybe, this is the weekend that the Bear catches me in Pick'em. 2 games.
I got to win both head-to-heads.
Got to win both head-to-heads. It could happen. Anyways, Texas A&M, South Carolina. This is the early one, 11 a.m. Central at Kyle Field. A&M is an 18.5-point favorite. Like we mentioned, the over-under sits at 48.5. Bear, if you want South Carolina, if you think they're going to win this thing in an upset, you can get them at plus 870 on the money line. To say it's a long shot is saying the very least. Neither you or I think it's going to happen. We are both going with Texas A&M. And again, like I mentioned, I think Texas A&M wins this game big, and I think they cover that big spread.
Love my War Chickens. They're a kind folk. They've always been nothing but gracious to me. You don't have an offensive line. It's the worst in the SEC. You're going up against one of the best defensive lines. And you're going up against a team that right now, let me just remind everybody, is a game away from clinching its spot in the college football playoff. So
congratulations, Texas A&M.
Congratulations on winning this one. I don't think you're going to be letting them down.
Welcome to the 12-team playoff. Finally, those people that have been picking A&M to go to the playoff the last 5 years are finally right. Congratulations to you all. Congrats. It finally worked.
I stole my stock 1 year too early. How dare I?
Congrats to you all. So again, we're both going with the Aggies to crazy enough to think about get to 10-0 on the season. Again, with Samford the following week, 11-0. And then down they go to Austin, or I guess up they go to Austin to take on the Longhorns. Bear, let's go to Alabama and Oklahoma. This game taking place at 2:30 Central. I think we got these two times switched up. That's okay, though. 2:30 Central, Alabama, Oklahoma. Alabama, a 5.5-point favorite. The over-under sits at 46.5. You and I are both going with the Crimson Tide. I think it's an interesting spread here, the 5.5. Obviously, Vegas, those betting on this game, think it's going to be close. You know, the last time we came into a game where nobody was giving the Sooners a chance, they went into Knoxville at night and got the win. So it does give me some concern. That being said, I think Alabama is going to use what happened last week against LSU as a positive. Maybe they got humbled a little bit. Maybe that some things were exposed that they need to clean up. They need to shore up. That battle in the trenches, if you like car crashes in the trenches, you have come to the right place, because both of these sides of the line of scrimmage are going to be really fun to watch. But you and I both agree it's Alabama finding a way to outlast the Sooners.
I just think that, and there's been some people who said Alabama's going to be able to walk into this matchup and win by double digits. I mean, I've seen some people go as bold as say Alabama has nothing to worry about. I'm not there. I'm really not.
Our guy Brandon Marcello thinks it's a 2 or 3 score game, 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I just can't see a scenario where Alabama is just going to destroy Oklahoma with how well their defense has been playing. And better yet, how much more improved their overall identity has gone from that matchup against Texas. I mean, in Red River. I mean, like that's where I'm at. I get it. It's very easy to go ahead and say, well, Alabama and what they've been able to accomplish at home, even in the Kalen DeBoer era. Yeah, you're right, but I still think that you're sweating bullets. You can't run the football efficiently. You aren't able to. You haven't seen a consistent version of Ty Simpson for 2 weeks now. We're talking about a defense that still has some questions when it comes to defending the run. They have allowed some explosive plays downfield. So I do think this is going to be a 4-score game. I think this is going to be a back-and-forth battle. A lot of punts. It really, in my opinion, comes down to which defense gets a bigger stop or which quarterback throws a turnover. And one quarterback has 1 interception and a few fumbles, and the other one has 4 fumbles and 7 interceptions. So that's why I'm taking Alabama. But I think that we are sweating to the finish. You will see a big time throw that comes in the form of a pick by somebody on the Crimson Tide that guarantees their spot in the college football playoff.
Maybe, just maybe, we get Ty Simpson's Heisman moment. Maybe. This is the kind of game that we might call for it. I agree, by the way, with somebody in the comments. It's hard to fathom and think about Bama losing to Oklahoma back-to-back years. It really is. But it could happen, but hard to think about. Again, we're both going with the Crimson Tide. Bear, let's go to the game at Death Valley. This one, 11:45 a.m. Central. LSU, Arkansas, the battle for the Golden Boot. LSU's a 5.5-point favorite. The over-under is set at 56.5. You are going with LSU. I want to know where the hell Jackson Darr is, because he told me that I hated Woo Pig just a few weeks ago. Jackson Darr, wherever you are, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, I got one thing to say. Ooh, Pig, suey. I'm going with the Razorbacks to pull the upset. Give me Taylon Green going psycho mode, sicko mode, all over LSU. Razorbacks. Listen, LSU, we talked about it, Bear, this morning. LSU has not scored more than 25 points in a game against a Power 4 team. They are going to have to do it in this one. And with the issues they've got on offense, the offensive line, the quarterback position, which, by the way, Bear, we do know Garrett Nussmeier will be starting in this football game. Apparently, Frank Wilson updating this at practice. So we know that it's going to be Nuss at QB1. whether you agree with the decision, disagree, that's who's getting the ball first. Doesn't matter. I think Arkansas is going to score more than 25, and I don't think LSU gets there. Hogs pull the upset in Baton Rouge.
I trust which defense more. That's easy. It's LSU. Like, that's what this comes down to. Because I think this is a game where you get right if you are LSU's offense. We've seen multiple. Arkansas has not given up less than 34 points in every Power 4 game this year. So I'm like, cool. Even if the offense is mundanely average, score 28. Score 28. Your defense can hold, I think, this team to 24. And that's what this comes down to.
Something's got to give, right, when it comes to Arkansas's defense and LSU's offense. Something has to give.
And I'll tell you what, I have seen bad offenses. I have seen underwhelming offenses. I saw Auburn march on in and get a win at Razorback Stadium. That is the single worst offense that I've seen. We saw the same quarterback that threw for 368 yards against Vandy throw for 77 and beat up on Arkansas. I'm sorry. I'm not buying into Arkansas. I love me some Taylor Green, but I have put down the drunk 2 a.m. cigarette for the last time in 2025. I'm not picking that thing back up until we see him go to the NFL. And even then, it may be a little bit too late.
See, one thing to know about Bear, though, he loves to make bets. And for what, I heard you today, Bear, on radio talking about I'll shave my head and eat a Carolina. You just love to throw out bets you don't have to. See, if I was you, if I was truly a degenerate sicko, I'd make the bet with you in the guarantee just in honor of you calling him the drunk 2 a.m. cigarette. I'll send you a video of me after the Hogs win of me smoking a cigarette. Like, this is smoking on that Taylor Green pack. I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to do that. It's not my vibe. Maybe smoke a cigar.
You don't want to have a cowboy killer?
I don't. I'm not even remotely a cig guy. It doesn't matter if I'm drinking. None of it. I'm not a cig guy at all. But maybe a cigar. I don't know. Maybe a cigar. We'll see. Listen, I don't feel like a cigarette out at the Grove would be very classy. Yeah, I don't know how they'd feel about that, because that'd be middle of the day. I mean, I don't know. Do they smoke cigarettes at the Grove?
It's Taylor Green, buddy. For starters, you have to be drunk. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm feeling myself. I mean, drunk. Like, you think that Taco Bell is 5-star level course meal, and that's your cigarette. That's Taylor Green. I can't quit you. And you ain't going to be that in the middle of the afternoon.
We'll see what happens. Maybe or maybe not. You'll get it on the vlog or you'll get a video from me. Bear, let's go to this game in Lexington, Kentucky. The Kentucky Wildcats and Tennessee Tech do battle. 12:30 Central Time kickoff. By the way, the undefeated Tennessee Tech. What's their mascot again?
The Golden Eagles, I believe.
The Golden Eagles. Tennessee Tech comes in. Bear, our friends at FanDuel have a spread on this game. I didn't even know it. Kentucky's a 21.5-point favorite.
I know they are.
The over-under is set at 52.5. You and I are both going with Kentucky. I want to highlight this comment. Hope Jones says, y'all sleeping on Tennessee Tech? Wings up. Wings up for Tennessee Tech. We're both going with Kentucky to win it, though.
I'm taking Tennessee Tech in the points. I am taking Tennessee Tech in the points.
You all about some Tennessee Tech, man.
Listen.
Oh, you all about some Tennessee Tech.
This would be the most Mark Stoops thing of all Mark Stoops things of 2025. You suck. You nearly lose to Toledo. You don't look good against Eastern Michigan. You can't get a win to save your bleeping life in the SEC. And then you beat Hugh Freeze and you take him out of his job. You basically Yeller him in his own house. And then you go face off against DJ Lively, and you Yeller him in your house. And things are looking up. And it's a bright sky, and we're all saying, Mark Stoops just saved your job. And here comes Tennessee Tech, swooping on in like they see a wounded rabbit, and they know that all they have to do is just pick it up with a
wounded wildcat. Just a wounded wildcat.
Take it back to its lair. And they get mollywopped. Like, that is what we're talking about. I could see it. I don't think it happens, but it would be the most Mark Stoops thing. He saved his job. It'd be a shame if somebody stole that opportunity.
Tennessee Tech. Hey, much like UT in Texas, Tennessee Tech is the OG TTU. Stand aside, Texas Tech. This is Tennessee Tech, the real TTU. 21.5. I might take it with you. That's a huge spread in that game, man.
For this offense.
That's a huge spread. Huge spread. Bear, let's go to the game in Knoxville, Tennessee, and New Mexico State get set to do battle. 3:15 Central Time kick. Tennessee is a 40.5-point favorite. The over-under is 61.5. You've already said, Bear, you think there's going to be a lot of points. And one thing we most certainly agree on, Tennessee is going to win this football game.
Death, taxes, volunteers, and Neyland against a non-Power 4 team. You know the drill.
They love to beat up on these kind of teams.
They do a great job at it too, by the way. They are fantastic at beating up on these teams.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if there's anybody that deserves it, it's Tennessee. You think back to the years where they were losing to, like, what was it, BYU? No, Georgia State on their home field. Georgia State. I'm going to trigger Miss Terry's bathwater here.
Hey, don't worry.
App State didn't beat them, did they? They took them to like overtime or something like that.
No, they didn't beat them. Hey, don't worry though, because I mean, let's just remember, you're going to be remembering those days like they were yesterday. Because when John Heupel leaves, you go right back to it.
Here comes big bad Georgia State, New Mexico State. It won't be.
Don't look now. Don't look now, Chris. Here comes Brigham Young. Don't look at.
Yeah.
Here comes Georgia Southern.
Yeah. They're back. Back like they never left. But it won't happen this Saturday.
Fans, you got to understand, Heupel's right for you. My God. You're going to run off the best thing that happened to you in 20 years. And you have no one else to blame but you.
Yeah. Deserve all the bad things that are coming to you if that happens. But it won't happen this Saturday. Again, Tennessee's going to win. They're going to win big. Bear, let's go to the game that we are going to be at, that being Ole Miss, Florida, down in Oxford. Interestingly enough, latest spread from our friends at FanDuel, Bear. I took Ole Miss minus 15.5. This spread's now down to Ole Miss minus 14.5. So, some money coming in on Florida late. The over-under is set at 53.5. Whether Ole Miss covers or they don't, you and I both agree, hotty toddy deep in the night in Oxford, Rebels will get the W.
I've already said it multiple times. I believe that Lane Kiffin afterwards, in a beatdown of all beatdowns, to let the world know he 100% is locked on in for a playoff. Enters the podium and is asked the simple question, what was it like beating against your future team? Oh, you think that I was actually going to take that job? No, I'm locked in, Rebels for life. And everyone in the city of Oxford rejoices. There is a party. There's confetti. It's like we hear Cool in the Gang come out of the speakers, celebrations playing everywhere. They're not celebrating going to the playoff. They're celebrating that Lane Kiffin picked them. They get the final rose in the great city of Oxford.
Yeah, I think it's Ole Miss big too. Again, Trinidad Chambliss goes off. Kawan Lacey, big night. This Ole Miss team's feeling it, man. They're feeling it. Again, college football playoff with a win. That's enough. I mean, you don't need any motivation, but that's motivation itself. Going to be a fun night in Oxford. Excited to get back to the vault. Lock the vault, as they say down there. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the game of the weekend. It is Georgia. It is Texas. The Bulldogs and Longhorns square off 6:30 Central Time kickoff at Sanford Stadium. Georgia, still a 5.5-point favorite. The over-under sits at 48.5 on FanDuel. So maybe it was 4. What did it go up? What was the game that was 46? That was a different game. Okay, 48.5 for this one. See, the 46s and the 48s have got me this week. 48.5 total in Georgia, Texas. I'm going with the Bulldogs. You are going with Texas to go into Athens and get the win. Explain yourself, sir.
Very simple. I think the Texas offense that we saw last week is legit. That is the one that I believe that is going to last all the way until the end of the season. I believe that Arch Manning has turned the corner. I believe the offensive line has done a great job of figuring out what works. I think that Steve Sarkisian has gone back to the well and realized, I got to get into my element of play calling. This works. This doesn't. And Georgia, I just don't trust entirely because of the slow starts, especially defensively. And they've had a chance to fight on back, and they've been able to handle business against Alabama. And they've been able to handle business against everybody but Alabama. They did so against Tennessee. They did so against Ole Miss. They did so against Mississippi State. They did so against Florida. They were always able to handle business. But you know what, Chris? This is Georgia, and this is fire. And they have been doing this nonstop, playing too close to the fire. And what have I said on multiple times? You play too close to the fire, you get burned. And that is what happens this weekend when Texas comes to town.
Okay, let's not burn the studio to the ground trying to make a point. I hear you, Bear. I do. The playing too close to the fire thing, but as I've said before, no team loves to get it out the mud more than Georgia. No team thrives on being punched in the face early like Georgia does. I got to see it. Texas, you want me to give you the respect in this game? And it's kind of like, again, when you picked Bama, Georgia. All the points you made are valid, but I know it's only 2 of them, only 2 games. But I got to see Texas beat Georgia, especially going into their house at night. I trust Kirby Smart and company. Gunnar Stockton and that offense is getting better every single week. I mean, that team's getting better every single week. Like Kirby said last year when they went to Austin, we ain't come here to take pictures. We didn't come here to take pictures.
Yeah, well, Texas didn't come here to not make sure that their season came to an end. Because I've already said this on multiple occasions, dude. I will say this as much as possible. Texas needs to win this one to be in the college football playoff hunt. It does not matter if they beat Texas A&M. They need to win this one.
And there's some out there, including our good friend David Pollock, that thinks that a 9-3 Texas will be good enough to make the college football playoff. We'll see.
Maybe.
But you got to get to 9-3 is the key. I'll rebuttal everything you said with Kirby Smart's go-to move this season. The tongue out Kirby will be out on Saturday night. Just he'll be thinking about Cole Thompson when he does it too.
Yep, I am who he's talking about.
He'll be
dragging him out of the mud.
He'll be like, "Come on, Cole, do it with me."
I picked against. No, I've got
tongue out. Kirby will be out.
Here's the problem. I've picked against him three times already. I am 1-2. I need to be batting at least 500.
I'm just glad you could inject some positivity in our guy Sandman because he thinks Georgia's just going to beat the shit out of him.
He doesn't believe me. He doesn't. He's sitting in here. I can see him in the chat just like losing his mind about, oh my God, I can't believe it.
He just doesn't believe. Almost bought plane tickets. I mean, if we lose, I need OU and Vandy to lose as well. I mean, he's already counting it up. So anyways, you're going Texas. I'm going Georgia. It is going to be an awesome, awesome game on Saturday night. There is no question. All right, final game, Bear. We have got Missouri and Mississippi State. It is funny. Like, I know we have to have like a night game SEC network game, but I feel like the last few weeks is like they put the game that like everybody forgets about in that slot. For some reason, it's always overshadowed by the other big one. I don't think that's on purpose, but it just is what it is. Sneaky good game here, though. Mizzou, a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under is set at 51.5. You and I almost did it. We almost went the other side in this one, but we're both going with Missouri to get the win at home, senior night. That Mississippi State pick was tempting, Bear. I'm not going to lie to you. It was tempting, but again, Mizzou at home is senior night. I just, with the rushing attack, with Ahmad Hardy, Jamal Roberts, a lot of questions at quarterback in this game on both sides with Zollers from Mizzou and then Kamario Taylor from Mississippi State. And does Blake Shapen play? Whatever. Bottom line, though, we've got MIZ finding a way to outlast Hail State.
I'll just be completely honest. My MIZ bloodlines are just too far strong in this game. That's it. Like, that's the only reason I picked Mizzou. I love my MIZ faithful. I always have been. I always will. I haven't picked you enough. I'm picking in this one. Like, that's all this comes down to. Because I can absolutely see a scenario where Matt Zollers just does not have it, and Brennan Thompson goes off, as we see in the comment section, and we watch as Anthony Davis has a big time game, and Fluff Bothwell is making plays left and right, and the defense does just enough to get the job done, and they pick apart, and Kamario Taylor runs it for $140. Like, I can absolutely see it. Like, I'm nowhere near confident in this pick at all.
Bear, what is up with this Ahmad Hardy slander in the comments?
I don't understand Guide in the comments section.
Guide realm. Ahmad Hardy, terrible. Hardy needs to be back at you. He's over 1,000 yards.
He's the best running back in the SEC.
What has Ahmad Hardy done to warrant said criticism?
Guide, I got to ask you, do you have ties to the Warhawks? Is that what the issue is?
I mean, come on now. We got Eli Drinkwitz is a problem. Hardy not good in the SEC.
Guide.
I mean, I don't know what the motive
Guide's
is.
got to be trolling on this one.
Got to be an Arkansas fan. Got to be an Arkansas fan.
Do you want to be Arkansas? Is that what this
is? Let Guide cook.
There's a certain level. I'll listen to the drink rumors. I'll listen to the, if you want to call him Dwink or something like that, I'll listen to that. I'm not listening to Ahmad Hardy being bad at football. Man's had over 200 yard games.
Hey, Sandman's like Mississippi State. Says Brennan Thompson goes off.
I'm telling you, it would not shock me whatsoever.
It wasn't on one of my official picks. I kind of want to add it. Love Mississippi State plus 7.5 though. I would take State plus 7.5 if I had to take one way or another on the spread. We obviously took the total in that game, but would absolutely go State plus 7.5. So again, those are our picks.
Jam Miller. That's who he
over Ahmad Hardy. I wonder if Bama would make that trade straight up right now. No disrespect. No disrespect to Jam.
Second thought.
No disrespect to Jam, but he ain't Ahmad Hardy.
Not even a second thought.
He ain't Ahmad Hardy. That's all I'm saying.
Ahmad Hardy has an opportunity to be a top 25 pick in the NFL draft.
There you have it. Week 12, pick 'em officially in the books. Once again, I'm one game ahead of the Bear. Will it be the Longhorns pushing Cole ahead in the pick 'em? How ironic would that be? The Texas boy gets Texas to come through for him.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be something? Guys, really appreciate y'all. Fun as always. We'll take some questions and comments to close out the show if y'all got them. If not, we can go ahead and put a pin. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and let you guys know that we're brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel because, as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Guys, if you're not signed up yet, what are you doing? We talk gambling all the time. It's super fun, get you involved in every single game. And guys, of course, in case you missed it, it is NBA tip-off week. FanDuel is your home for live betting. Even if you missed the start of a game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel's got live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets. If your first $5 bet wins, just visit FanDuel.com/SECU to sign up today. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Bear, anything? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sandman, what's one stadium you'd love to visit outside of the SEC stadiums and you can't say the Rose Bowl? I've got one. For sure.
Well, the problem is I'm trying to think of where I haven't been because I've already been to.
Okay. Here we go.
That's why.
Guys been everywhere.
Well, okay, because personally, I think one of the best atmospheres in college football is Husky Stadium out in Seattle. I love Husky Stadium.
That's a cool one.
But I've been there, so it's I don't want to say I've been there. Been Autzen, so I don't want to be like, oh, I've been to the zoo.
And I'm assuming when you say this too, if I get to visit the stadium, then this is my own I'm going to assume it's a big game, great atmosphere.
Top 10 matchup.
Like that. I get to say though, a lot of stadiums when they're at their peak are great. I get to just assume I'm visiting it at its peak, obviously. Dude, I want to go see a whiteout at Penn State. That's like a bucket list thing, I will say what I'm excited for, and things are subject to change, but I got to go to the shoe this year. Oklahoma travels to Michigan next year.
Big house.
Yeah. So but you know what? everybody I've ever talked about the Big House they just like, dude, it's not
stadium.
loud. It's not loud. It's whatever.
It's fine. I've been. It's fine. It's a
Yeah.
good atmosphere. It's not a great one.
White out Penn State.
You know where I want to go? I want to go to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska.
That would be a cool one.
I think the thing that I look at all the time is that fan base has been through a decade of tragedy, and they still have sold out attendance. They have got to be some of the most passionate fans in all of college football. I would love to go to a game.
I like those picks. I'd like to see Autzen too. That'd be a cool one.
Autzon's a beautiful stadium.
Yeah,
Rice Eccles is another one that I've heard is fantastic.
Yeah, and I've heard it super, super loud there. Dylan Baskins is calling it now. Kiffin trolls Florida in the fourth quarter by play the "I'm not leaving" clip from Wolf of Wall Street on the big screen.
That helmet doesn't lie, Dylan. Thank you once again for it. It doesn't lie.
That'd be awesome. That'd actually be sick. That's going to be a very, very, very interesting vibe in the stadium. We talked about that before, but that's going to be a very interesting vibe. So I'm excited to experience it. Mysteries Bathwater says BYU would be another awesome stadium just for the backdrop alone. BYU would be cool.
LaBelle Edwards, yeah, that would.
Utah, Army, Air Force, UW, and the Wood. Oh, dude, the what's the dome and the Kibble Dome?
Kibby Dome.
Kibby Dome. Yes.
Idaho? Yeah, I would 100% go that.
Yeah.
Go that one.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. How's Texas Tech Stadium?
Jones is fine. I haven't been since the renovation. The last time I went was 2018. But
what's up with the tortilla thing?
It's a tradition that they have there.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I just always seen it. Never really knew what it was about. BTTS is Clemson Stadium. That it's a cool one. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I've been multiple times. It's a cool one. I think Virginia Tech's a good pick. Really, really good pick. Sandman, can't wait to watch the post-game presser from Lane Kiffin. Yeah, same. It's going to be really, really interesting what he has to say. Rob Brown, Camp Randall when the Badgers are good. Yep, that's another great one. Would love to see that. So, BTTS, Virginia Tech would be great too. Enter Sandman would be awesome to see in person. I've heard Blacksburg is a great, great college town. Great college town. So, anything else? We lost the bear. I have no clue where the bear went. That's okay. Sandman, a long time ago, an announcer referred to Lubbock as the tortilla factory, and the Texas Tech folks caught wind of it and decided to turn mockery into a tradition. Okay. I didn't know that.
I had to kill a spider. My apologies.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. It's okay. We're about to wrap up anyways.
Bold predictions. We never get to that for the weekend.
Bold predictions. Texas A&M rushes for 400 yards as a team. 600 yards of offense. 600 plus.
Ryan Wingo has over 200 receiving yards. It's bold. I'm supposed to go bold.
Yeah, no. Lane Kiffin trolls Florida. He does the gator chomp on the sideline after a touchdown.
Yeah, that feels normal. Both Braylon Staley and Chris Brazzell get enough yards to surpass 1,000 on the season.
See, I'm going to go the opposite of you. You went Ryan Wingo. Less than 150 passing yards for Arch Manning.
That would not be shocking. I will quit in the post game.
Oh my
Let's
God.
everybody.
New Mexico State. He's like, I'm done. Thanks for nothing.
Lenore Sellers is the newest quarterback to be benched.
Whoa. For Luke Doty.
That's the scary part. It would be for Luke Doty.
At least put in Cutter Woods. At least put in Air Nolan. Something. Jesus. don't even know. I'm trying to think of something witty with Alabama.
Your pick 6 is a game winner for Alabama.
I like it. I do like that. I'll say bold prediction. Ty Simpson has his Heisman moment. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think there's a play. I think Bama could be down late, kind of like similar to what Indiana, Penn State, big throw back of the end, just something like that. Maybe big run, something. I think Ty Simpson has that moment Saturday.
Ahmad Hardy rushes for 300 yards.
Yeah, just to stick it to our guy in
the comment section.
Just to stick it to our guy, Guide Realm. Take that, Ahmad says. Take that.
300 by himself.
It's not a bold prediction, Bear. Before we close out, do you know that a couple of our Bama friends, our mutual Bama friends, they were trying to convince me tonight to go back down to Tuscaloosa. They're like, hey, man, come on. You know, Ennis is calling your name, brother. I was like, that's the problem. That's
an issue. That's
not a problem.
That's not an answer. That's an issue.
That chill down my spine I felt today. Yeah.
God bless.
So it's
let's try 3.5 hours to go to a bar in Tuscaloosa.
No, we're going to Oxford. We're going to Oxford. It's going to be how far is Tuscaloosa to Oxford?
A 3.5, maybe a little under, a little over, depending on where you're driving from.
Shouldn't have asked you that.
That's
I'm not going to Oxford till Friday. I mean, tomorrow's Thursday, so could just that would be some degenerate shit if I showed up back to Ennis. It was like, hey guys, I know y'all didn't think y'all were going to see me again till spring, but here I am.
I'll tell you exactly how long the drive is.
I'm not really going to do it.
3 hours almost on the dot.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till Friday. I'm good on that. My body needs
autopilot it.
Yeah, my body needs a break. So on that note, guys, let's put a pin in it. Really, really fun stuff tonight. Again, we appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are what make this show what it is, truly. The Bear and I just sit up here, talk shop, have a good time, but y'all really make the overtime drive, make SEC Unfiltered, and we can't say thank you enough. So again, in the meantime, guys, again, stay tuned to all the content bleeding out of the eyeballs going into the weekend every single day for us. Really exciting stuff, of course, around the corner. We got Bears tier rankings tomorrow. We've got college basketball coverage that is currently loading. Going to have a big college basketball season preview with a former SEC basketball player, current SEC network analyst that I'm super pumped about. New show launching next week. All the reactions over the weekend. Bears happy hour, Sunday fun day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure you don't miss anything. Hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Follow across all the social media platforms. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, check out our website, secunfiltered.com. So for Cole the Bear Thompson, I'm Chris Phillips. This is the Overtime Drive, SEC Unfiltered's bi-weekly SEC football show, the best SEC football show on the internet. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday night. Let's have one hell of a Week 12. Y'all take care. Cheers.